Hi everyone, and welcome to Believe It or Not, our very special second birthday. Hi Loretta, first on the chat. Yeah, and Jacqueline, there we are. Happy birthday. Can you believe it? It's literally 2 years ago since we started doing these Wednesday classes. Can you believe that? And I've got some special slides, of course, for our birthday, so I'm going to put them on. And I've got a little bit of a surprise for you as well before we start the class. So here we go, look. Our second birthday, 2 years old. This is I think this is the 104th Wednesday class. Can you believe that? It's unbelievable, isn't it? That all that time has gone by. It's great to see so many familiar people on the chat. We're going to find out how familiar you are. I look back at some of the stats 2 years ago. If you were there 2 years ago on this very day, on the Wednesday, the first Wednesday we did, which was in March 2020, just at the beginning of lockdown there. We had 66 people registered and 47 of you attended. And last week we had 985 registrations. So we nearly got 1,000 people registered and we had 63 people turned up live. And we know a lot of people watch the recordings. And we actually had, at the height of the lockdown, we had our record number was 188 live participants on the Wednesday class. They were the glory days when there was nothing else to do and you couldn't go anywhere in the whole of Europe. So can you believe that? 188 people we had on there. And I just thought it might be worth just spending a few minutes. Well, let's just take a poll first of all. Were you there the very first Wednesday? I don't know. Let's just find out. I'm going to run a poll and see. Were you at the very first Wednesday class, March the 25th in March 2020? Let's find out. I'm going to run the poll and see. You probably weren't. I guess you probably a new person, but we might have a few people who were right there, right at the beginning, have been with us all the way along. And look at that, we've got a third of you who were actually there 2 years ago. Can you believe that? That's absolutely incredible. And we've got a lovely half of you that have joined in the last 2 years, and you're very, very welcome. And not surprisingly, about 10% of you can't remember because it's too far ago. Okay, so I thought I dug back through the archives you know what I managed to dig out? I managed to dig out the video of the very first Wednesday class. So I just thought it might be really funny for us to look back and just watch the first 3 or 4 minutes of this of the very first Wednesday class. And all the team were on. It was severe lockdown. No one could go anywhere. I cycled in from where we were living at the time as an essential worker. Just catch the vibe here. I'm just going to play a few minutes of it and then we'll get on with the class. But I thought you might be amused to see what it was like 2 years ago. So here we go. I've got the video right here. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Here we are. Diana, Shakura, and myself, broadcasting from the Shiatsu Center in Norwich. Look, I'm broadcasting from my room. It's essential work, so I've come in. I didn't see anyone all the way in, so I've done that. So if you just want to say hi to everyone in the chat, we've got the whole team, I think, is on this call, on this broadcast. And we're going to run these support meetings every single Wednesday now through the whole crisis. So we'll be able to support you as you go through until we get out the other side and you come in for your lovely Shiatsu in the Shiatsu Center. Okay, so we're just going to spend an hour with you now, and we're going to do 5 things. We're going to find out how you're doing, because that's very important to us. We want to find out how stressed you're feeling. We're going to we're going to look at the immune system in TCM and Shiatsu, how you can balance your burners. This is about how the Shiatsu system works in terms of how we understand the immune system, how we can boost the immune system. And we're going to show you, we're going to explain to you 2 different types of treatments that we're giving at the Shiatsu Center now. We've actually been delivering these 2 different methods of treatment successfully if you do want one-to-one help. Okay. So now finally, we're going to explain to you what we're doing about donations and how we're running the running the whole money side of things. Okay,
connection.
So let's find out how stressed you are straight away. Let's find out how you are. So we just want to find out how you're coping. I'm going to share a poll which will come up. If you just take a look at it and then just click on it and let us know whether you're coping well, you're okay, feel neutral, or you feel stressed or very stressed. And then we'll get some idea, and then week by week we'll hopefully get those totals down, and we'll be able to find out, you know, if we're generally getting everything kind of cooler for you and more relaxed using different techniques. Okay, so if you just want to vote in, and we'll see. Well, look at that, not too bad. Look, I think it's all the shiatsu you've had in the past, you see. It's really prepared you well for this. Because we've actually got the biggest group of you, 38% are coping well. So look at that, that's great, isn't it? 60% of you are okay or coping well. And we've only got 23% feeling stressed. So that's still enough people to be concerned about. So we're going to do something about that in the next hour. And one of you, 3%, is very stressed. So we're going to help you out with that. Okay. So let's move on. We've done that. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is we're going to talk a little bit about how the immune system works in terms of Chinese medicine understanding and how that can give us practical ideas. And then we're going to do some practical exercises, tuning in and finding out how stressed we are. Okay, and you'll need a piece of paper for this. So because we're going to do some drawing and writing. So if you want to run and get a piece of paper. Have you got a piece of paper, Shakura?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Great. Okay, cool. So we think about the lungs as being part of the immune system in Chinese medicine, but it's not all about the lungs. And we're going to do an experiential exercise to tune into different parts of our body. And we're going to tune into the upper part. I'm going to look at the position. Yeah, we're going to tune into the upper part of the body, the middle part, which is around here, and the lower part here. Okay, so those are the three areas. And so if you draw three lines like this, whoa, to see you've got three areas to draw your pictures, and we'll be ready then. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm just going to go back to chat now. That's it. Okay, if you've done the poll, you just need to click back to the main window, Helen, and you'll see. If
you're on a mobile, it's usually in the top left-hand corner. And then
all right. Okay. Yeah, you'll see another screen. You can click on the top, and then it'll take you back. Okay, so let's have a look. Right, we're going to follow. If you just follow this exercise, we're going to tune into these three areas. I'll go through it with you. And we're going to draw a picture or write how we are. And it's a way of checking in to see where the stress or where any stress is affecting us. And then we're going to do some exercises to help us, okay? So there we go. That's just the first few minutes of the recording that from 2 years ago. Can you see that you could just feel the novelty of it and the whole like excitement of just suddenly putting everything online? And we managed to actually support our clients by basically doing lots of online support, especially our critical clients. We would do online one-to-one Zooms and things like that. And then we had the Wednesday class. We did everything we could to support all the clients, and it's kind of paid off. So we survived. And the other thing I just want to say, look, if you look at the stress now, we've got like the poll now, we've got like 26% of you are stressed or very stressed. So you still need the Wednesday classes, and we're going to keep going with them for as long as we can. And this is just another just like to take this opportunity as well, just to say that one of the most positive things we found in the whole pandemic early on was an amazing community that we have around the Shiatsu Center and the Shiatsu College Norwich. And we had so many really generous donations from people that could afford it, that allowed us to give free online support. And it was just an amazing experience. And so what we thought we'd do is, coming out of the pandemic now, we're back to normal, we're doing face-to-face sessions. But what we're finding that it's been very unequal, the pandemic. Some people have been fine all the way through, they're okay. And other people have been really badly hit. I mean, we're talking about people who have got long COVID, they've got no income, they're pretty much destitute. We've had a client come in recently with that, in that situation, just absolutely hopeless situation, doesn't know what to do. And we've got lots of resources here we can help with. Networks we've got a lot of information and support for long COVID. For example, we've also got a long-term late stage Parkinson's disease client who needs home visits, and again is completely unable to be able to fund those. So what we thought we'd do is, on this second birthday, we're going to launch a brand new campaign called the Shiatsu Angels. And the Shiatsu Angels is this: basically, we're going to ask for donations, no matter how small, to let us go out and outreach and be able to help these clients who are in absolute severe need. Okay, and it's called the Shiatsu Angels. I've just got a slide that I'd like to share with you, what it's all about. The Shiatsu Angels, we've set it up now, we're just launching it, and basically how it works is, it's the whole Shiatsu community that we've discovered we've got supporting those that are less fortunate. We are targeting people who are in severe need, and what we're finding is that those people, it kind of ripples out to the whole family, because the whole thing is like a center of complete desperation, really. So every penny that we have in the Angels Fund is just like brings so much difference to people. We've just set it up, and what we're asking for is very small one-off donations or very big donations. We've had some extremely generous benefactors that have helped us launch it. So we just thought we'd let you know. We haven't officially launched it yet, but because you're the special people on the Wednesday class, we thought we'd let you know about it first of all. Okay, so I've got the link. There's a link in the email that comes out, and I'll share the link at the end of this class. Okay, so that's just an amazing example, I think, of through some of the most sort of desperate times that we've had, and people have had so much stress and everything. That just something amazingly beautiful has happened. It's really beautiful has come out of that, and it's enabled us to be able to help people that we just wouldn't have been able to help before. And these are people where conventional medicine is just not helping them at all, and Shiatsu is the treatment of choice. So it's a really well targeted fund, and if you'd like to support us in any way, that would be marvelous. But we thought we'd share that with you. Okay, so I'm going to now continue with the class. Things haven't changed that much in 2 years, have they? Because we're still doing the 3 burner scans. In fact, we tend to do whole body scans now, which is a bit of an innovation. So why don't we switch into that, and then we'll get straight on with the class. I thought what we'd do this class is we'll focus in on the breathing, which is a really good thing. We did some yin and yang connections the other week. We did some whereabouts would you like to work and things like that. So why don't we do check our breathing, and we'll work on our breathing today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to just relax, and then take a deep breath in, and just monitor and see where that breath goes. And then I've got a poll of like, where did your breath go? I'm just going to try and find it. Yes, I found it. I've got so many polls now, I've got to scroll down through about 20 different questions that we've built up over the last 2 years. So let's just relax for a second, okay? And we're not going to force it. We're just going to see what naturally happens, okay? Just close our eyes. And what I'd like you to do is just tune into yourself, and then take a normal deep breath in, and just see where that breath goes, where the deepest part of that breath goes. Okay, have you got it? And I'm going to run that poll. Where did it go? Did it go into the lungs, just into the lungs? Did it go as far as the upper abdomen, or down into the lower abdomen? Or was it just up in the upper lungs? I'm going to share that and just see how our breathing is at the moment. We can work on that today. So what have we got? Okay, now look, this is really good. This is actually something we really achieved over 2 years, because I remember when we did this poll a couple of years ago, we had the vast majority of people were breathing into the upper lungs and lungs. So that's a really big change that the group's made over the last 2 years, because we've got down as far as the upper abdomen, which means your diaphragm is starting to really release. Now, if we can we've only got 20% of you who are feeling the breath in the upper lungs and lungs, which is pretty amazing. So what we'll try and do today is we'll try and get that breath even deeper and even more sort of secure in the lower abdomen. Okay, so let's go into the whole body scanning. We'll do the whole body scanning. We'll go straight into the 3 burner scan, I think, today, just to save a bit of time. And then we'll go into the exercises. Okay, so here we go. Okay, whole body scan is really useful to do. Because it really is a good way of just tuning in, just checking out to see whether we've got any tension or any weaknesses in the body. So let's just start off by just standing relaxed and just finding out where we are. Let's arrive where we are just for this hour. Just forget about everything that's been happening in the past, forget about the week ahead, and just bring ourselves into the present. And we're going to scan down through the top of our head, okay, through, down, through the eyes, nose, jaw, through the ears, okay, through the neck, and then down through the throat, okay, keep it nice and relaxed, and then down through the shoulders, checking out the arms, through the chest area. Okay, just take some nice easy breaths. Okay, so most of us are feeling the breath going down into the lower part of the diaphragm here and into the upper abdomen. That means the diaphragm is really starting to release now, and you can feel the chi or the energy from the breath going down into here. Ultimately, we want to try and get it right down into here, but we're going to work on that in the next hour. So let's just scan down through the diaphragm, through the abdomen, through the hips. Okay, down through the legs, through the knees and the feet. Okay, right, very good. Now we're just going to relax. We're going to kind of take a step back from ourselves kind of thing and look at the whole of our energy. And just notice if there's any significant places there where you're holding or where you're feeling weak or you're holding. And we're going to draw them. And you can just draw free form on your... Have you got your piece of paper, Shakura? She's not on this call, actually. That's so funny, wasn't it? Okay, so we're just going to draw that as a whole body scan. Just going to draw in myself where I most need to work. And what we can do then is, as we go through the exercises, obviously we can focus in and make them as individual as we can for ourselves. Okay, so that's the whole body scan. Now we're going to do the 3 burner scan, and we'll find out, won't we, how we're doing as a group with the 3 burners. So we're going to make that division into 3 parts like this. Okay, and let's scan through all the burners, and then we'll just do a drawing and we'll do the poll and get on with the exercises. Okay, so here we go. A little bit of a shakeout, tuning into the lower burner, that's below the navel and around into the lower back. Okay, I'm going to relax, we just tune into that area there. Okay, according to Chinese medicine, that should feel kind of strong, very strong and firm, definitely not hot, not too cold, just kind of really solid down there. Solid but flexible. Okay, so just check in, see how your lower burner is. Okay, then we go up to the middle burner, that's below the diaphragm and above the navel, that's around here. I'm going to tune into that area. That area should be kind of quite spacious and open, definitely not too hot, and quite relaxed. Let's see how our middle burner is today. Okay, and then we go into the upper burner. Again, this should be like a mist. It should be certainly not blocked. It should be nice and open and relaxed, and kind of fairly cool and moist feeling in the upper burner. So just check into your upper burner, see how that feels. Got it? Okay, great. So let's just draw that and draw the burners. And then I'm going to run the poll. Which burner would you like to work on most today? Just find that one. Which burner do you want to work on most today? Here we go. Okay, so I'm just thinking about myself, and I'm going to share that poll, and we can then work on that with the breathing, because all the 3 burners have a function with the breathing, and we can explore that. Oh my goodness, look at that. What a swing we've got. We've got a huge swing towards the middle burner. That is incredible. I wonder what is going on. I've got a few ideas, but I wonder what's caused that swing. That's a very, very significant swing to the middle burner. Okay, we better get to work immediately. Okay, the last few weeks we've had upper burner way out ahead with the lower middle burner much further back, but kind of equal, and that's a very, very big swing. So let's explore that in the next 45 minutes and 45 minutes and do some work with that. Okay, so here we go. With that kind of pole, I think the first thing we've got to do is we've got to do some shaking, and the reason for that is because the middle burner is usually to do with obstruction of some sort, and that can go through the channels into the head and neck and into the rest of the body. So let's start off by just standing, bringing ourselves into the present, okay? And we're just going to do some shaking. You might want to focus it in on the middle burner itself, okay? So we can start by shaking this area here, nice and easily. And we're going to shake the shoulders. Okay, now here's an interesting thing. We're going to make sure we release the jaw, because the jaw has a lot of connections with the middle burner through the digestive system. So when we get blocked here, quite often the jaw will get tight, and we'll get tight in the throat, and the whole digestive tube will start getting tense. Okay, so we're going to keep that jaw really relaxed. Shaking down. Here's another interesting thing. We want to get the shoulders released, because the gallbladder channel runs along the tops of the shoulders, and that connects again in with the middle burner. So by doing this, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the digestive system, and then shaking the shoulders out like this, that will have an effect on the middle burner. So let's just try that. Let's just go. Okay, got it? We're going to keep that diaphragm really relaxed. Okay, very good. Okay, let's go a little bit lower and get into the hips, because the hips again have some major channels that connect up with the middle burner. So if we keep shaking and then start opening up the hips. Open up the hips. And right the way down to the feet. We can relax and open up. That's it, get it right down into the feet. Okay, got that? Now, if you just relax now, let's try taking a deep breath in. Notice how much smoother it goes through this part here, and that's because the middle burner is starting to release and open up. Okay, now, if you've been on many of the Wednesday classes over the last 2 years, you'll know that we almost always start with the lower burner. But if we're working on our breathing and we've got major tendency for middle burner obstructions, we'll really find it hard to get that breathing down there, because it gets obstructed by this middle burner. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make sure we release this, then we're going to go down to the lower burner and check it out. Okay, so if we just breathe in now, okay, breathing in, you notice that the breath starts to move further down just because we release this. So let's do a little bit more work on this middle burner first, and then we can start working on the lower burner. Okay, now one of the really good twisting exercises for this is this one. We hold, you have your head floating up from the top of your head, sacrum sinking down, and we're just going to look to the left and right. I'm going to make it very specific here. As we turn, we're focusing in on this area here, the middle burner and diaphragm. We're just going to get that area to release as much as possible. If you're feeling a bit weak and tired, you want to take it really, really easy, really, really easily. If you want to get it, if it's a bit more obstructed and you want to get to move a bit more, you want to maybe do it a little bit stronger, and you can even tap the sides, which is the gallbladder channel, as you twist there. Okay, so it's up to you. If you're feeling a bit weak, this is great. Just keep it nice and easy and do it mainly internally. Keep that breathing going, keep that head floating up. That's it. Excellent. Okay, so now let's work on some channels that are related to the middle burner. And we've basically got the liver and the gallbladder, we've got the stomach and spleen, which run along the legs mainly, and they run along the front and the sides of the legs. So we should be able to get this middle burner really moving by using these points. One of the main things that can affect the middle burner is anxiety and also frustration and anger. And maybe that's why the middle burner is way out. Maybe it's because of the situation, the world situation. But something's happening in the group to cause that to happen. So we need to work on that. So this is one of the really great techniques we learned in lockdown, is to go from liver 13, which is by this floating rib, and we go up to liver 14, which is just under the nipples here, just here, okay? And by working like this, I'll just give you a bit of a close-up here. So you go from here, this floating rib, tapping up here. And this, we call this the gate of hope movement, because what it does is it moves the liver chi and it opens up points that are related, that connect the middle burner here with some of the other more upright aspects of the energy. So, and they also release the thoracic structure here, which gets obstructed when we get really frustrated and it gets really blocked up. So we're going to tap here. There we go. Up. This is a gate of hope exercise. And once we've got that loosened up, let's just give it a bit of a shake. We're just trying to get that thoracic area released and that diaphragm released there. Okay. Tapping up. Once we've got that moving, we can go down like this, and then we need to go right into the hips here to release the gallbladder channel in the hips. So we're working right into the hips here, like this. Try and get those hips really released, and then we're going to go down. And as we're doing this, we're tuning into the middle burner here, and we're just seeing if we can find any places down this channel. This is the outside of the legs, right down the outside, like the seam of the legs here, and just see if that. This is the gallbladder. Gallbladder 34, famous point for releasing any tendon stiffness in the body. And we go down outside the legs. And now we switch and we go up the inside the legs, around the back of this big muscle here, and then up into the front of the body again, okay? And then we go back up here, one more pass at the gate of hope, down into the gallbladder 34, 30 again, and then down, gallbladder 34, down to the feet, and up again, underneath. The liver channel, gate of hope, gallbladder, okay, and then up. And we finish off with the gate of hope. Okay, brilliant. Okay, just shaking out. Give it a bit of a shake. Okay, now let's check it out again. Let's take a deep breath again and see what happens. We're breathing in. Whoa, okay, now if you had a really big change there and you've suddenly felt this opening up and the breath going down, that means almost certainly that you've got obstruction in the liver and the gallbladder channels, and it's really usually associated with kind of frustration and irritability and decision making and things like that. you didn't get much change, it might be because if you're a middle burner person and that didn't give you much change, let's try the stomach and spleen, which is the other meridians related to the middle burner. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start by tapping down the outside of the abdominal muscle. This is where the stomach channel runs. Just here, so there's the navel, this is the abdominal muscles, and so it's just on the, pretty much on the front, just on the outside of those muscles down here. Just going to cover this area here. Okay, and we're going to go down the stomach channel. Down to the knees, and now just below the knees here, just here, we've got stomach 36, the 3 mile point. That's a really good point for tonifying the energy of the body. So we're going to just do a little bit of tapping here, and then down the feet, and then up the spleen channel, which is like the inside front of the legs. We're going to go up here, and we get back into the digestive area again, linking up with the middle burner. You got it? Okay. So let's do it again. This time we're going to be really aware of any changes that we get in this middle burner area as we go down. I'm just going to, and if you find one, let me just see if I can get one myself. Somewhere around here, like around here, I can feel it releasing here. I'm just going to hold that for a little bit longer. Yeah, so you can kind of tailor it depending on where you find the places along the channel that release this area. Okay, so it's like an exploration. We're tuning in all the time to the middle burner. This is stomach 36. Go up. There we go. And the third time up, spleen channel, and then onto the abdomen again. Okay, here's a lovely Qi Gong exercise for the spleen and stomach. We put our hand in the middle of the whole abdomen, right over the navel here, and we rotate like this. Okay, we're going to keep it quite nice and light, but we need a lot of Qi from the hands. So we're going to keep the feet relaxed. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Remember that little egg under the armpit to keep the Qi flowing in the arms. That's it. And we just rub around the navel until it starts getting warm. And then we expand it out around the intestines, effectively, or basically covering the whole of the colon. And then we go back in the middle again. Okay, and shaking out. Okay, let's just shake out that middle burner. Okay, let's try it again. So we're going to take a deep breath in. There we go. Very different. Okay, now if you've got a big change then with those stomach and spleen exercises, probably because the middle burner is being obstructed by the stomach and spleen, and that's more to do with anxiety, worrying, overthinking, or over nurturing and that kind of thing. So it's a good way of kind of self-diagnosing where your obstructions are. Now, are we ready now to do the lower burner? I think I'm okay. Let me just have a quick, speaking as a middle burner person myself, I think I'm ready. Just do a little bit of a twist. Yeah. Okay, cool. So it's about time we had one of our favorite points, which is of course kidney 1. And what I'd like to do with this is experiment with breathing in, just a really simple exercise. We're going to breathe in again now, breathing in, see where your breath goes to. Whoa, quite a big improvement from the start of the exercise, and then breathing out. Okay, remember that feeling. Now we're going to work kidney 1, and just doing kidney 1, we'll go back and we'll check the breathing again and see what effect kidney 1 has. And this will vary depending on your energy makeup. If you're a little bit low in your yin, in other words, the cooling, relaxing part of your energy, if that's a bit low, kidney 1 is the point for you because it takes excess energy away from the head, always a good idea, and it basically tonifies the whole cooling and centering and solid aspects of the body. So let's do it, okay? Remember, where it is. It's halfway, take this midline, and it's 1/3 of the distance down, right in here, kidney 1. You can start opening it up here with the fingertips. Okay, and we're going to tap here. Right onto kidney 1. And as we're doing that, I'm holding kidney 3, which is the point behind the ankle with this thumb. That's just to open the channel up a bit more. Bit of a rub. Okay, a bit more. I think I need quite a lot of kidney 1 tonification today. Very good. Okay, put my sock on. It's still a bit cold here in Norwich. I don't know what it's like where you are, but it's still a little bit cold. Put the sock on. And we'll do the other side. Okay, so the same thing again. Holding kidney 3 with this thumb. Just opening this stretch out as well helps open the kidney channel in the leg. Okay, here we go. Going, stretching it open. There we go. Lovely. Right, sock goes on, and let's check out and see what happens after the kidney 1 energizing. Okay, so first of all, let's just see what it's like to just stand. Okay, after we've done that, shaking the legs out a little bit, just standing. Whoa, okay, different way of standing now. Kidney 1 is open. It's so much easier to just feel that connection with the earth. Okay, now focusing in on kidney 1, feeling a connection down into the earth through that point. And now let's take a deep breath in and see what happens. Okay, now if it didn't make much difference, it's probably because your yin is okay. But if you suddenly got a feeling of it going much deeper into this area, it means that you need kidney 1 and you need more tonification in your yin to get that connection. We'll do lots more of that in the next 10 or 15 minutes. What we want ideally is we want our energy to collect here and the breath to easily flow down into the lower dantian. So let's just do a bit of turbocharging for the kidney channel. Now we've opened up kidney 1. We're going to just open up the kidney channel with some doing by tapping behind the ankle and up the back inside of the legs. Nice and easy here. And then we go up on top of the pubic bone. This is where it comes out. And then we need to go round onto the sacrum, which is connected to the bladder, and then down the bladder channel, which is down the backs of the legs. Okay. Up, inside, down, outside. Up the inside, down, outside. One more, up the inside, okay, and down the outside. Whoa, okay, shaking the legs out. Now let's make that inner energy connection between kidney 1 and the lower abdomen. We've arrived in the lower dantian. Okay, hands nice and warm. One hand just below the navel, 1.5 inches below the navel, around CB4, CB6, if you were there for those points of the week that we did before Christmas. If not, don't worry about it. Just this lower area here, holding the hands here, relaxing the hips, feeling the energy connection up those channels in the legs from kidney 1. Got it? Okay, now let's take a deep breath in. Okay, not bad, very good. You see, feel how that tends to just make this area go out, breath going much smoother down into the low dantian. So let's just activate that by rotating around, keeping the shoulders really relaxed. Nice easy breaths into the lower abdomen. Okay, we're imagining the Qi from the hands going all the way through into the lower back. Keep that egg under our armpit, keep that head floating up, and keep that kidney one open, anchored into the earth. Keep the hips relaxed. Very good. Okay, excellent stuff. Okay, now if you've got any shoulder issues, you have trouble reaching behind you, just forget about this, just keep going with this. But if you can do this, it's quite nice to activate bladder 23, the kidney U point, which is in the middle of the lower back right here. It's really nice. Just give that circular stimulation, rubbing, getting that nice and warm. The idea is the heat comes from the back and from the front, and it kind of connects into the whole lower abdomen. Very, very good. Okay, so just rub that front and then just shaking out. Okay, so let's see what foundation we've got now. We've got a lovely, strong lower hara, the middle bone. We've done a real job on that today. We needed to with a pole like that. Whoa, okay. Okay, so now we should be able to move on to the upper burner. Okay, so we've got lungs, basically lungs and heart in the upper burner. So let's just test out and see which channels need the most work, and it will vary from each one of us. So you can check the lung channel by bringing your hands up, bringing the thumbs like this and stretching up and back. Just get an idea of what that feels like. It should feel nice and open and relaxed. If there's any feeling of weakness or tension or pain, you could have an obstruction in the lung channel there. Okay, especially everyone's had COVID recently, almost certainly you're going to have tension or maybe even heat along that channel, and doing the lung exercises is a really good idea for that. The pericardium channel, you can stretch it this way. Again, you should feel a nice open feeling in the chest. It should be nice and easy to stretch backwards, no feeling of weakness or tension, especially in this part of the area here. Check your pericardium channel. Okay, what's that like? And then finally, the heart channel, you can access that by bringing your hands into the prayer position, bringing them above your head, opening the elbows out, relaxing under the armpits, and again, stretching back. And what you should feel is a nice, easy feeling of opening all the way back. If you get tension or any sensation in your chest there, that could be an indication that your heart channel is obstructed or maybe weak and needs some work. Okay, very good. So let's do some doing. We're going to go through the whole thing as a sequence, all the yin and yang channels of the arm, and then we'll recheck the stretches and see how we've done. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start off with lung. We're going to start off with lung 1, which is right here, just below the collarbone, in the front of the shoulder here. You might want to make some sounds if you're on your own and you haven't got any animals or neighbours just frightened by going, ah. Opening up can cause coughing. That's always a good thing. So just tapping here. Okay, so let's go down the lung channel towards the thumb, up the large intestine channel, down the heart protector channel to the middle finger, the middle of the inside of the arm, and then up the middle outside of the arm. This is the triple heated channel. And then finally, turning our hand around like this, we're going to tap down to the little finger, and this is the heart channel. And then back up the outside of the arm. Back and outside of the arm is the small intestine channel. Okay, we'll go around that 3 times. That's the first time, so we go down to the lung, down to the thumb, up, large intestine from this finger here, and then onto pericardium channel, and up the triple heater, which is the middle outside, and then the heart, which is this one, just nice and gently here, down to the little finger, and then back around. Up. Yes, okay. Right, one more pass round, yeah. So we've got lung, large intestine, heart protector, triple heater, heart, and small intestine. Very good, okay. I'm just going to shake that out. And it's time for the other lung. So we're going to go lung. Nice deep breaths. Whoa, making some sounds. Down. Towards the thumb. And then up. And down. And up. Okay, and then we've got pericardium, which is down to the middle here, to this middle finger. This links from the chest, from the end muscle that protects the heart, goes down here, and then this one is the triple heater back up here. Okay, and then turning that arm out this way, we're going down towards up the inside of the arm, towards the little finger. We've got the heart channel. And then we switch it around. And then go back up. And then round. Okay, one more pass. Okay, so lung is to the thumb, lung, thumb. Then the outside from the middle first finger, large intestine. Middle of the inside of the arm, pericardium. Middle of the outside of the arm, triple heater. And then heart, twisting out this way a bit to get into this part of the arm. Okay, and then round. Okay, and then down. Okay, excellent. Okay, so let's check those stretches again, and then we'll check the breathing and see what difference the upper burner work has made. Okay, so do you remember what it felt like for those three stretches? So let's do them again. Let's do lung. Okay, and what you should feel if it was a problem for you is a little bit easier to open up, a little bit more activated the channel. Okay, that's the lung channel. Stretching out this way, checking into that feeling into the chest. Whoa, okay, that's the one that worked for me. You should feel it nice and open and stretching back. Okay, and then finally, the heart stretch, if you remember, was the hands in the prayer position, stretching them up, opening up the elbows, and opening up the armpits and stretching back. What does that feel like in comparison with before? Okay, and then you can kind of get a readout of which of those three yin channels that connect with the upper heater, that's the lungs, the pericardium, and the heart, which ones of those in your energy they tend to get obstructed or weak. Okay, so now another check on the breathing, because the lungs are supposed to descend the qi down the body. So let's see what happens. Let's remind ourselves of kidney one. Let's have a bit of a shake out. Get that kidney one nice and open and energized. Let's just remind ourselves of the lower dantian by just giving it a little bit of a rub. Okay. Shaking out that middle burner. And now, tuning into the upper burner, taking a nice breath in. And just track where that goes. Okay, notice any difference? That lung qi brings the air in and can push it downwards to connect with the lower burner. Okay, awesome. Right, so how are we doing? We have got 10 minutes left to clear those yang channels of the head and put it all together. Okay, we really want to get those yang channels as unblocked as we can. So let's start off with a bit of a head routine. We're just going to rub our hands together and we're going to tap the forehead. 3 times from the middle of the forehead. Give you a bit of a close up. I'll come close to the camera while we're doing the head. Okay, so we're tapping here. Tapping over the top of the head. This is the bladder channel, by the way, all the way, which goes all the way to the feet. Goes down onto the back of the neck. Okay, let's just wipe the eyes, nice and relaxed, just 3 times, nice and slowly, wiping the eyes, any tension around the eyes. Okay, and then we're going to squeeze around the cheekbones here. This is all related to the stomach channel. Okay, and if you follow around under the cheekbones here, you follow underneath there, you'll find you'll get to a point just in front of the jaw that you can feel, and you open your jaw, that you can feel the joint there, and that's a really important point there to release for the jaw. And then if you go a bit further back, you get just in front of the ear here, and there's some another really useful points for the jaw right in here. If you press them in, though, you won't be able to hear what I'm saying, but that probably doesn't matter. Okay, but they're right in here. Yeah? That's it. Okay. This is an important point, large intestine 20. We got to that at the end of February. We started off this year. If you're back, just coming back after a break, the whole of this year, we're doing an entire journey around the entire meridian system, 1 month for each meridian. And so this, at the end of February, we got to here, and then we moved over into the stomach meridian here, which is what we've been doing this month. And next week, will be April, and we'll be working on the spleen channel. So if you've got any menstrual issues, digestive issues, anything like that, you might want to check in on the next month, because we'll be doing a lot of work on those kind of things. Yeah, so we'll be going into depth in the spleen channel. So I'm working around here, working around the jaw. This is again related to the stomach channel. Just squeezing in with my fingertips. My thumb is going underneath here, relaxing the tongue. That's it. Okay, very good. Just pulling the ears. Just pulling them out and relaxing them. Okay, excellent. Wipe the face a bit. There we are. Okay, it's really good to get any tension out of the face. Okay, so now let's work on our neck. We want to make sure that this area here is released. This is where the large intestine and the stomach channel run. Oh, that's a coincidence. Yes, because the large intestine comes up, the stomach channel goes down through the front of the body. So by squeezing this, it's really good for clearing any blockages in the head that are related to either of those channels. Okay, so I'm just squeezing here with this part of my finger and squeezing around the back like this with the thumb, relaxing that. And now I'm going to squeeze the fingers together like this, put the fingers together, and I'm squeezing down the back of my neck, down the bladder channel here. So squeezing down. And then we can bring our hands a bit further out until we get into this dip here, and that's the gallbladder channel. So we can work the gallbladder channel in the neck, always a good idea. Okay, I'm going to stand up for the next bit because we're going to need to connect it with the rest of the body. So, squeezing down. So we've done basically the main groups of channels in the neck now. Very important, the front ones, the side ones, that's the gallbladder, and the triple heater, and then we've got the bladder and small intestine at the back. Okay, I'm just going to shake a little bit and get that jaw released. Connect the neck up with the rest of the body, squeezing a bit and shaking out. And now we're just going to tap the tops of the shoulders. You can do it like this, or you can support your elbow. And shaking out. Okay. Brilliant. Shaking out. Shaking it all the way down from the head, down into the hands and the feet. So that only leaves us with putting it all together using the breathing. But before we do that, let's just check in and see. Oh, I forgot to do the bladder channel on the back, didn't I? Okay, so we really need to do that. So we're going to go down the back as far as we can, and then tapping the back like this. If you can reach up there, that's great, reaching up as far as we can. But this is to connect the yang channels of the head down into the rest of the body. There we go. That's it, just releasing the back a bit and stretch and shaking out a little more. Okay, time to check in and see how our breathing is doing. Are you ready? So keeping our awareness on kidney 1. Just keeping the hands to the side now, but becoming aware of the whole front of the body all the way down to the feet, and becoming aware of the back. So we're aware of our whole body now. Relaxing our hips. Now let's just take a deep breath in again. Okay, excellent. Now, do you notice a difference between now and an hour ago when we did it? I think you probably do. And hopefully on this journey that we've had in the last hour, when you notice those big changes in the breathing, you know which channels and which burners you need to work on personally to make those biggest changes. We can bear that in mind in the week to come. When you do start getting stressed or you find yourself getting a little bit out of balance, target in and just do 5 minutes of exercises where you need it the most, and that'll get terrific results. Okay, so let's just finish off by doing some this touchy type breathing. And while we're doing it, we can integrate everything by floating the head up. Let that sacrum hang down, relax the hips, relax the knees and the feet. And then we're just going to let the body go down, and the hands are just going to float up and breathe out. That's the main movement. So let's focus it on opening kidney 1. We're going to connect down as deep as we can into the earth, breathing in and breathing out, floating the head up, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, connecting with the earth. Now let's connect with the heavens. We're going to let the head float up. We're going to get that feeling of the heavens. So we imagine this thread. Okay, breathing in, lowering ourselves down. Okay, and then we're breathing out. We're pulling ourselves up. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, excellent. We just put it together. So we're going to concentrate on sinking down into the earth. And then a bit slower, floating up. Sinking down into the earth, floating up. And one last time, sinking down, floating up. Okay, and then just standing and taking a deep breath in finally. And noticing where that's going. Okay, that's it. It's time for us to round up our second birthday. Thank you so much. Look, we've got 64 people on. That's way above average. It's great. Maybe you just made it just for this birthday. Maybe we'd like to just check in every now and then. I'm just going to share the see if I can find it. Oh, I can't find it. Okay, never mind. Okay, so what I'll do is what you'll find is when you get the email after this with the recording, and we're going to email everyone anyway, we'll give you a link to the Shiatsu Angels, and if you'd like to join join us, join the community in supporting itself, that would be absolutely amazing. So I'm going to now finish up. Yep, so this is the Angels launch. And this, if you haven't been for a while, we're going around the entire Meridian cycle this year. We've started off with lung in January. So we've done lung, large intestine, stomach, and next month we'll be getting on to the spleen. Clear thinking. If you need a bit of clear thinking, please see if you can make any of the live sessions next month. Okay, so that's great. That's it. That's the end. Thank you very much, Kat, for all your work on the chat. I'm just going to have a look. I don't try not to look at the chat when I'm working, when I'm doing the exercises, because it's too distracting. But it's so great. Oh, look at these lovely comments and lovely hearts we're getting. Fantastic. And we've even got an angel. Veronique has even put an angel, so go on. Okay, cool. We'll be in touch. Thank you very much. And here's looking forward to another amazing year. With this year, we're going to complete the whole Meridian cycle all the way around. Really looking forward to that. By December, we will have covered all the channels all the way around. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to put, thank you, Anne and Chris. I'm going to put a Mary. I'm going to, and Lynn, Maggie, Muriel, too many people, Gudrun, so many familiar names on the chat. I'm just going to put a heart on and say goodbye. So I've got a client coming any minute. I've got to get the room ready. Okay, thanks so much. And thank you, Kat, for all your work on the chat.